day in my mind. Safe to take a step out, get some air now. Let your air.
Hello babes, today I'm starting with this earthy palette from Beauty Bay, and it is gorgeous. It has greens and browns and a little bit of red in it. So I'm starting with this minty color above my crease with a pencil crease brush, which is very dense and it really deposits that color right on there. So I'm going with a high wing shape right above my crease. So I'm really gonna stretch that wing out there and really pack on the color. So in this next bit, I'm just using a fluffy brush to blend those harsh outer lines out a bit before I apply the next color. And I just want to smooth things out a little bit, you know, like when you apply the color, it might create like quite a harsh line, and you always want to make sure to blend, because if you don't, you're going to look like you don't know what you're doing. So now I'm going to go in with the pencil brush again, and I'm using a darker green shade, and I'm just putting that below the color that I already did, so directly in my crease, and I'm following the same wing shape that I did before. So yeah, you're just gonna place it in the crease. Make sure that you have a good primer or like a base so it's sticky before you start this process, because you have to have a base. And then just a little light up. I believe it was like the lightest green in the palette for under the brow bone, to give a bit of highlight and depth to the look. So the next step is to use a brush and some makeup remover, like a liquid one, and I dip the brush into it, and then I take off the excess and proceed to cut my crease with that. Like, a lot of people will use just a Q-tip, but I don't think that's quite as precise as using a brush. So that is my little trick or hack, is to use a brush with the liquid remover, and then I will use this angle brush just to further define that line where I remove the product. I will darken that line just a bit with the same color that is apparent, so that darker green that I used. And then this Juvia's Place eye primer I'm using to further cut my crease and prep it for the next shade. So I like to you know, just put a bit on the back of my hand, and then I will dip my brush into it and get as sharp of a line as I can to prepare my eyelids for the next color that I'm going to use. So you just want to go right under that makeup line essentially, and just to create a sharper thing. And so now I go with that NYX glitter primer, and let me just tell you that this is a game changer, because the NYX glitter primer is so good for the shimmer shades that are in your palette. They really make them pop. Now I'm just using my finger here because I get a nice outcome when I use my finger rather. Oh my god, my baby! I get a much nicer outcome when I use my finger rather than a brush. So I will use my finger to apply the color, because I guess the oil or like the warmth from my finger will make the color pop more. So I put a light green in the middle, and then a darker green on the outer edges of that. and then a matte green will finish out the inner and outer corners. So right here I'm taking that matte dark green and just finishing that wing and making sure that everything is blended together also. And then I put some on my inner corner as well, and this is going to create what they call like a halo eye, where you put the lightest shade on the center of your lid, and then the outer edges are more darker. So now the next step in the process is just to grab that darkest matte green that I used, and I'm going to take a small smudge brush. I believe this one is from Morphe, and we're just going to continue under the bottom of my eyes, like below the waterline. And yeah, I'm just going to connect that dark green under the waterline all the way to the outer wing. Guys, sorry, but yeah, and then in the inner corner I will take that shade that I used from the middle of the lid and apply that as well. Maybe you have to put some base or primer before you do that, which I believe I did at this point. Yeah, I did. And so you just blend out the edges because you don't want your shadow to be so harsh of a line. And then I'm gonna go back in and apply the shadow on top of that and just connect everything. Make sure everything is balanced and nice and neat. So do that, babes. So now finally I'm going in with the mehron Paradise Paints, and this is the white one, and I'm just creating a line above my crease and then a line above that and making an X in between them, and so that is going to be the little base of what I'm doing. So I'll fill in the lines, the gaps. I'll fill the gaps in between those two lines, and that is the first step into this graphic liner, which is white, if you can't tell. And so that's what we're doing right here. Now I can't lie to you, even myself, I have to go back and finesse the lines between the two eyes. You always want to make sure they're as symmetrical as possible, and you have to go back and rather finesse either eye, because no one is perfect and you can't make everything perfect the first time. I mean, maybe you can if you're better at this than me, then maybe you can, but for me, I have to always go back and finesse the lines that I made to make sure that they match. And now I am just creating a few short lines on the outer edge of my eye here on the outer corner. So I think I did 4 lines here, each varying in their starting point. And then on the inner corner I did sort of like an arrow effect, and that took a moment to do, but here it is. So at this point I'm just creating a wing liner with the white, and I start with the outer corner and then I continue that line to connect them and make a wing shape here, and then I will fill them in. And then after that I connected those inner most portions, well, rather extended those lines further into my inner corners, I should say. And I then created a sort of circular line there. I don't know, guys. I don't know how to explain this. And then I just put some mascara on the top and bottom lashes, and I created a sort of shade that I needed for my waterline, like a light green color. So for that I used the Makeup Forever Professional 12 Flash Color Case, and then I applied some lashes. I believe they are from Ardell with the duo glue, and I can make a separate video about how to apply lashes. I did make some videos on my shorts profile, so if you want to check those out, do that. And then sometimes for my lip liner I like to use eyeshadow actually. So I use this a tiny smudge brush from Morphe, and I'll grab like a brown color or whatever and just line my lips with the lip liner after I have already blocked out my natural color with a concealer or my foundation. So I just find that these eyeshadows as lip liners are very easy to blend out and to apply. Actually, they don't quite last as long, but they're also very cute. So then I just love this favorite MAC lip balm that I have. I think the shade is called Purring. I'm not sure if they still make it, but that was pretty much my look there. So yeah, that's what I did, guys. I mean, you can use a clear gloss or something a little bit peachy, but that's what I did, and this was my outfit.